This is the all-new Dacia Duster, and after selling more than 10,000 of the previous model, this once unknown Romanian brand is hoping to expand its customer base even further again, with improvements across the board in tech, comfort and design. Now, while this new model isn't actually any bigger than the previous one, all body panels have been replaced and the styling redesigned to give it a wider, more aggressive look. Improvements continue inside the cabin with the addition of some more comfort features like extra padding on the seats, a driver's armrest, and finally, reach adjustment in the steering wheel. As I mentioned earlier, it's not any bigger than the previous model, so space in the back is the same as it ever was, which is very generous. And the boot's still a very practical load-lugging 475 litres. The other big news is that for the first time ever, the Duster will come with a petrol option in the 1.6 litre SCE, which now kicks off the range at €17,400. The original 1.5 litre diesel will now start at €18,600. So for diesel drivers, there has been a bit of a price increase. Now, as we all know, the Duster is all about value, so there has been a slight rejig of the specification to make up for that, which Dacia assure us means that you still get just as much for your money, and even more when you move up the trims with some new features never seen on a Dacia before. The range now starts with the Essential, which gets the basics: 16-inch steel wheels, body-coloured front bumpers, height adjustment in the driver's seat, DAB digital radio, a multifunction steering wheel and Bluetooth phone connectivity. The mid-spec Comfort model will add alloys, manual aircon, the armrest, a leather-covered steering wheel, a reversing camera, parking sensors and a 7-inch multimedia touchscreen complete with sat-nav. Now, those were all previously top-spec features on the old model. It's not a bad system to use. Now, the graphics aren't quite as good as what's in its premium and more expensive rivals, but it does what it says on the tin: nice, simple and effective, a bit like the car itself. The new crown of the range will be this Prestige model, which comes with some very fancy features like 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels, a multi-view camera for parking and off-roading, blind spot monitoring, climate control and keyless go. And it still starts at a very reasonable €21,300. So this is the diesel that I'm driving, which is powered by the well-tested and extremely fuel-efficient 1.5 litre DCI, which Dacia claim can achieve a fuel economy of 4.4 litres per 100 kilometres. And in fairness, it's actually not difficult to get close to that in real life. It's a very frugal engine, it's reliable, and there's really not a whole lot to complain about here. And there never was really, except that it could get a bit rough and noisy at times. But one of the improvements of this new model is a reduction in how much of that noise gets into the cabin. So extensive work on sound insulation means it's a lot quieter in here now than it was before. So that does make it feel a lot more refined. Now, in terms of handling, it's still not the sharpest SUV on the road, especially when you compare it to those more polished rivals. For example, the steering can be a bit woolly and there's a bit too much bounce to the suspension over rough surfaces. But again, you have to look at that price tag and bear in mind that this car costs a fraction of what those rivals do. And yet you still get this great higher ride height, a nice commanding view of the road ahead, and all the accessibility benefits that come with having a higher car, like making it easier to get in and out of for people with reduced mobility. That extra ground clearance also comes in handy if you happen to live a bit off the beaten track, and it also comes with a very capable 4x4 option, which I got to try out on an off-road track and was seriously impressed by. So things like that around view camera and hill descent control make this a great value option if you need a genuine off-roader. One more chink in the armour is its poor NCAP safety rating of just 3 stars, which is definitely something you might want to consider or at least be aware of. And we'll put a link below the video to the official results on the NCAP website, where you can see how it performed in different areas and draw your own conclusions from there. I could also go on a bit here about how the cabin materials are still a bit budget and how some of the interior quality is still a little bit questionable, but I think that's missing the point of the Duster a bit, which is a car for people who just don't care about that stuff, who would rather have the extra space and the lower monthly repayments in place of the soft touch dashboard. And when you look at it like that, it's very hard to fault it for what it is. Let us know what you think of the new look Duster in the comments below. Like and share if you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more like it, don't forget to hit subscribe.